Okay, so the Seahawks have an interesting challenge for our pals in the Legion of Boom. Well, maybe we shouldn't be talking about them at first. Actually, maybe we're not going to talk about them at first because the challenge this week might rely or might have to do more on the linebacking core than it does with the guys out there in the secondary. Because you got a running quarterback this week, and not just a running quarterback, you got a running offensive lineman at quarterback this week.
Yeah, that would be Cam Newton, who's listed at 6'5", 245. Might be a little bit heavier than that, but he's a large kid. Guy can throw it, he can run it. He's tied for their team lead in rushing this year so far with D'Angelo Williams. So he's a guy that's going to get past that line of scrimmage. That's where your linebackers are going to be. So this could be a big day for KJ Wright, and before the Legion of Boom ever gets involved, we're going to see what the linebackers can do to slow him down.
Well, keep in mind too, I mean, you talk about the big corners and everything like that, but the Seahawks play bump coverage, so as much as sure those guys could be involved in the run defense, they really can't. I mean, they've got to be bumping the wide receiver there. I don't know, one of those wide receivers is going to be Steve Smith. So sure, Cam Chancellor and Thomas can come up a little bit, but I agree. I mean, it's going to be KJ Wright, it's going to be Bobby Wagner, who Dave Wyman pointed out several times during the huddle, had 3 tackles for a loss last week. And of course, let's not forget the guy that everyone overlooks all the time, Leroy Hill, who just simply produces. But I agree. You know, one of the great things about the Seahawks, I think, so far watching this defense is how many times the first guy makes the tackle. I mean, you've seen almost no broken tackles, it seems like, with this team this year. And this will be a big key, I think. If that original front, if those linebackers can hit Newton and bring him down, that's going to cripple that Carolina offense.
Yeah, and I think you want to get him in a passing situation. As much as he was great at it last year, Cam Newton, I still think he's a better runner at this point. He's got 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the year. Hasn't found his groove passing yet, so I'd like to see him forced into that, kind of try to contain him, and I think the linebackers are going to be crucial in that.
Like Homer Simpson said, isn't football great?